With just a few pairs of pigeons, you can turn your backyard or even a small space at home into a miniature farm. The remarkable thing is that these birds are not only easy to raise and rarely get sick, but they also provide clean, nutritious meat and high-quality eggs. But the real question is, how can you raise pigeons for both meat and eggs while still keeping it economically efficient? Can a household truly make this work right at home? In today's video, we will explore everything from choosing the right breeds, building the coop, caring for them, feeding, and all the way to harvesting. Everything will be explained clearly and simply so you can apply it right away. And perhaps, after watching this, you will be surprised to realize that raising pigeons is not nearly as complicated as you might think. In pigeon farming, the very first and most important step is selecting the right breed. A correct decision from the beginning directly affects the growth rate, productivity, and long-term economic efficiency. Currently, there are many pigeon breeds available on the market, but the two most commonly raised ones are the French pigeon and the local crossbred pigeon. The French pigeon is well known for its rapid growth and large body size, often reaching from 1.3 to 1.7 pounds, which is about 600 to 800 grams when fully grown. The meat of this breed is firm, flavorful, and has high commercial value, making it particularly suitable for households raising pigeons mainly for meat. However, the limitation is that they require good nutrition and a clean, stable environment. On the other hand, the local crossbred pigeon has a remarkable advantage in disease resistance. This is the result of crossbreeding between native pigeons and imported breeds, giving them both endurance and adaptability to hot and humid climates while still maintaining relatively high reproductive performance. These crossbred pigeons usually lay eggs consistently, raise their chicks well, and are more suitable for households aiming for long-term sustainable farming. When choosing breeding pigeons, especially parent birds, clear criteria must be followed. First, the birds must be healthy, shown through agile movements, standing upright and not sluggish or puffed up. Any bird showing signs of coughing, drooping wings, or nasal discharge should be eliminated immediately. Second, the feathers should be smooth, tight to the body, and evenly colored. Fluffy, broken, or abnormally shedding feathers are often signs of illness or nutritional deficiency. Third, the eyes should be bright, round, and responsive. Cloudy eyes, drooping eyelids, or little reaction to light usually indicate weak or previously sick birds. Fourth, the wings must be symmetrical. When spread, the feathers should be intact and not broken. Wings held close to the body show strong flying ability and stable growth. Finally, the bird's weight must be balanced. A healthy adult pigeon usually has a broad chest, firm muscles, and should not be too thin or excessively fat. An important note is to select pigeons in pairs. Since pigeons are naturally monogamous, pre-paired birds adapt more easily and reproduce more consistently. Raising them in pairs also helps farmers better manage the process of laying, incubating, and raising chicks, avoiding confusion or mistakes during monitoring. To ensure a reliable breeding source, many farmers prefer buying directly from reputable breeding farms, where the parent birds have clear health records and origin. This greatly reduces the risk of bringing diseases into the flock. As you can see, selecting breeds is not simply about picking a few healthy-looking birds, but rather it is the foundation for the entire farming process. Choosing the right breed with the right standards helps reduce many risks, while also improving efficiency and profitability in pigeon farming. In pigeon farming, the health of the flock determines almost the entire economic outcome. A healthy flock lays eggs regularly, raises chicks well, and provides quality meat. On the other hand, if disease prevention is neglected, even a small outbreak can damage the entire flock and cause farmers to lose everything. That is why vaccination and regular health care for pigeons are absolutely essential. Vaccination needs to start when the birds are still young. Between 15 and 20 days old, young pigeons should receive their first Newcastle vaccine. This is the most dangerous disease for poultry, causing mass mortality with extremely high death rates. After the first dose, farmers must repeat the vaccination every 3 to 4 months to maintain immunity. Besides Newcastle, fowlpox is also a serious threat. Pigeons infected with this disease often develop lesions on the skin, around the eyes, the beak, and even inside the mouth, making it difficult for them to eat and causing rapid weakness. The fowlpox vaccine is usually administered in the wing membrane when pigeons are about 2 months old. This is an effective preventive measure that helps the flock avoid unnecessary losses. Another common disease is salmonellosis, caused by Salmonella bacteria. Infected pigeons usually show diarrhea, ruffled feathers, poor appetite, and rapid weight loss. To prevent it, farmers can mix a low dose of antibiotics into the feed or drinking water as instructed by a veterinarian, combined with probiotics to strengthen resistance. Prevention is crucial because once salmonellosis breaks out, it spreads very quickly through contaminated droppings, feed, and water. Along with vaccination and medicine, sanitation of the pigeon coop is something that cannot be overlooked. The coop must be cleaned of droppings daily because damp pigeon droppings are an ideal environment for bacteria and parasites to grow. Feeders and drinkers should be washed, dried, or disinfected before being reused. Once a week, the entire housing area should be disinfected with lime powder, iodine, or specialized disinfectants. Not only the coop, but also the surrounding environment must be kept clean. Stray animals, such as rats, cats, or wild birds, should be kept out, since they can carry pathogens. Farmers should also make it a habit to check the flock every day, watching for birds that stop eating, appear sluggish, or have puffed up feathers. Detecting these signs early makes it possible to isolate sick birds in time, preventing the disease from spreading. There is a golden rule in farming. Prevention is always cheaper and more effective than treatment. The cost of a vaccine, a disinfection session, or adding probiotics is far lower than the cost of treatment once an outbreak occurs. Moreover, when a disease has already spread, even if the flock is saved, both productivity and meat quality are significantly reduced. To keep pigeons consistently healthy, farmers must combine several measures. Follow the vaccination schedule, use preventive medicine wisely, maintain strict hygiene in the coop, and monitor the flock's health daily. This is the foundation for ensuring stable growth and achieving sustainable economic efficiency. Feed plays a crucial role in pigeon farming. A proper diet helps the birds grow strong, lay eggs regularly, and raise their chicks well. The basic formula for mixing pigeon feed includes 50% corn kernels, the main source of starch and energy. Corn also gives the meat a pleasant flavor and makes the skin naturally golden. 20% unhusked rice provides extra energy and stimulates digestion. 20% green beans, soybeans, or other legumes, rich in plant protein, essential for muscle growth and egg production. The remaining portion should be minerals and vitamins, which can include ground oyster shell, crushed eggshells, or specialized mineral premix. These ingredients help strengthen bones, increase egg-laying rates, and improve eggshell quality. Mixing feed at home not only saves costs, but also ensures safe ingredients. Farmers can buy raw materials at the market or use what is already available at home, then mix them according to the formula. On average, a pair of adult pigeons consumes about 2.8 to 3.5 ounces of feed per day, which is about 80 to 100 grams, so it is important to balance the portions to avoid shortage or excess. One important note is that the feed must be clean and free from mold or moisture. Moldy grains can produce aflatoxin, a toxin that damages the liver and weakens the immune system. Therefore, corn and rice should be thoroughly dried and stored in a dry place, away from insects and rodents. Besides feed, clean drinking water is indispensable. Pigeons need water every day to aid digestion and regulate body temperature. Water should be replaced daily, preferably in the morning and afternoon. Drinkers must be washed before refilling to reduce the growth of bacteria and parasites. During hot weather, electrolytes or vitamin C can be added to the water to boost resistance. For households wanting to save costs, agricultural byproducts can be used as supplemental feed. Broken rice, rice bran, cornmeal, or leftover beans after processing still contain significant nutrients. When mixed with corn and rice, these byproducts reduce feeding costs without lowering the nutritional quality. However, they must be carefully sifted, kept dry, and free from impurities. Some farmers also soak soybeans or green beans overnight before feeding. This makes the beans softer, easier to digest, and improves nutrient absorption. It is a small trick, but it brings high effectiveness in caring for the flock. It is clear that a balanced diet and clean water are the keys to helping pigeons grow steadily, reproduce consistently, and stay disease-resistant. Once the diet is properly managed, farmers will quickly notice the difference: stronger birds, fewer illnesses, and more sustainable profits. The pigeon coop is the foundation that determines the stable development of the flock. A well-designed environment not only keeps the birds healthy and reproducing regularly, but also reduces the risk of disease and saves labor in daily care. The coop must be airy, clean, and have enough natural light, but direct drafts should be avoided. Since pigeons prefer dry conditions, the floor should never be damp. The ideal temperature for their growth ranges from 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. In hot weather, the coop should have shade, while in colder months, it must be well protected from wind to keep the flock safe. Each pair of pigeons should be kept in a separate compartment. This makes management easier, especially during breeding and chick raising. The ideal size for one compartment is about 20 by 20 by 20 inches, which is roughly 50 by 50 by 50 centimeters. This provides enough space for the pair to live comfortably without wasting area. The cage material can be wood or iron, but it must be sturdy and easy to clean. For larger flocks, cages can be designed in multi-tiered rows to make care and waste collection more convenient. Every compartment needs a nesting area for laying and incubating eggs. The nest can be made from bamboo baskets, plastic bowls, or simply small baskets lined with dry straw. The important point is that the nest must be clean, dry, and placed in a fixed location. Farmers should usually prepare 2 nests for each pair, one for laying eggs and one for raising chicks. This arrangement allows continuous reproduction without interruption. Feeders and drinkers also need to be designed properly. Feeders should be placed outside the cage with a small opening for the birds to reach through. This setup maintains hygiene and makes it easy for farmers to add feed without opening the cage. For water, covered drinkers should be used to prevent dust and droppings from falling in. The water container should be in a fixed position and refilled daily to ensure it remains clean. In addition, the coop should have a waste collection system. Installing a tray beneath each cage to catch droppings allows quick cleaning, reduces odor, and lowers the risk of disease. Once a week, the entire housing area should be disinfected with lime powder or specialized disinfectants. When building a coop, one principle is that it should be convenient for both the pigeons and the farmer. The space must be large enough for the birds to live comfortably, while the layout should also make it easy for the farmer to feed, water, and monitor the flock every day. A properly designed coop not only improves productivity, but also reduces care costs and protects the flock from diseases. This is a crucial step, creating a solid foundation for long-term success in pigeon farming. After mating, pigeons will lay from 1 to 2 eggs. The incubation period usually lasts around 17 days. During this time, the male and female take turns sitting on the eggs, maintaining stable temperature and humidity so the embryos can develop normally. Successful hatching only occurs if the surrounding environment is not too cold, not too hot, and remains protected from outside disturbances. When the chicks first hatch, they are weak, with soft bodies, closed eyes, and completely dependent on their parents. For the first 7 days, their only source of nutrition is crop milk, a special secretion produced in the parents' crops, rich in protein and antibodies. This is the most critical stage because it determines the chick's immunity and survival. From the 7th day onward, the chicks start getting used to soft food. Farmers can assist by providing finely ground corn, cooked beans, or softened seed mixtures. The feed must be clean, easy to digest, and moist enough for the chicks to swallow. Throughout this stage, hygiene plays a decisive role. Baby pigeons are highly vulnerable to disease because their immune system is not yet fully developed. The coop must be kept dry and clean, and the nesting material should be replaced regularly to prevent mold and bacteria. Natural light should be available but not direct, and drafts must be avoided to prevent chilling. When all conditions of temperature, humidity, light, and cleanliness are met, the chicks will grow strong, quickly develop down feathers, and move into the stage of independence. This creates a vital foundation for the flock to develop steadily, ensuring long-term benefits for the farmer. Each pair of adult pigeons has the ability to reproduce continuously throughout the year, with an average of 8 to 10 breeding cycles. After raising their chicks for about 2 weeks, the female can begin laying again, allowing the flock to multiply quickly and steadily. Thanks to this characteristic, starting with just a few pairs, farmers can expand to dozens or even hundreds of pairs in a relatively short time. Pigeon meat has long been considered a highly nutritious food source, rich in protein, easy to digest, and favored by many consumers. Young pigeons between 3 and 4 weeks old usually reach the ideal weight for sale, with tender, flavorful meat and high market value. At the same time, pigeon eggs, though produced in smaller quantities than chicken eggs, are packed with vitamins and minerals. They are especially suitable for children and for people recovering from illness. From an economic perspective, pigeon farming requires low initial investment and can be implemented on a small scale. Their diet consists mainly of locally available grains such as corn, rice, and beans, along with agricultural byproducts, which significantly reduces feed costs. Meanwhile, the selling price of pigeon meat and eggs remains stable, with strong demand in the market. This model is particularly suitable for households or individuals who want to use their free time to generate extra income. With only a modest coop space and consistent care, farmers can provide their families with clean, healthy food while also building a sustainable source of income. Raising pigeons does not require a large space, high investment, or overly complicated techniques. With patience and by following the right steps, from selecting the breed, providing care, preventing diseases, all the way to harvesting, you can create a clean, safe, and highly nutritious food source for your family. More importantly, this is a sustainable farming model that can easily be expanded. Starting with just a few pairs, farmers can quickly grow their flock, turning a small hobby into a steady source of income, or even a practical side business right at home. If you find this model suitable and useful, make sure to subscribe to the channel to follow more videos about farming, animal husbandry, and ways to build wealth in your own hometown. And do not forget to leave a comment to share your questions or your pigeon raising experience, so we can learn and grow together.